Welcome to my channel. Imagine this: you are sleeping. Your eyes are closed. Your body is resting. But your mind is learning English. Every minute you sleep, your brain is quietly listening, remembering, and practicing. Sounds impossible? Maybe. But tonight, I will show you how your brain can remember words, improve pronunciation, and even understand sentences, all while you sleep. You won't need to sit at a desk. You won't need to open a book. You just need your bed, your ears, and the right method. Alright, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will know how to turn your sleep into your own private English classroom. Chapter E: The Science Behind Learning in Your Sleep. When we think about learning, we usually imagine ourselves awake. We see books, pens, teachers, and classrooms. We think of sitting at a desk, listening carefully, and writing notes. But what if I told you that your brain is still working even when your body is sleeping? Yes, it's true. Every night while you close your eyes and rest, your brain is busy. It is not just resting. It is also cleaning, repairing, and remembering. Scientists have studied the brain for many years, and they found something amazing. Our brains remain active during sleep. In fact, there are different stages of sleep. Kang. You may have heard the words deep sleep and REM sleep. REM means rapid eye movement. It is the time when your eyes move quickly under your eyelids and you're very active. Ooh. This is also the time when you dream. In deep sleep, your body is in its deepest rest, but your brain is busy, organizing all the information you learned during the day. It is like a librarian putting books in the right place on the shelves. Think about this. You hear a new song before going to bed. You might not remember all the words, but when you wake up in the morning somehow, you can sing parts of it without trying. Why? Because while you were sleeping, your brain was repeating it again and again in the background. It was making the memory stronger, like making a picture brighter and clearer. Memory is like a library in your head. During the day, you collect books. Every book is a new word, a new sentence, a new idea. But in the daytime, you don't have time to put all the books in order. At night, your brain becomes the librarian. It takes all those books, cleans them, and puts them in the right place so you can find them later. Hi. This is why we often remember something better after a good night's sleep than right after learning it. Now, here is the exciting part. You can help your brain decide which books to store more carefully. If you give it the right English words before sleeping, your brain can take those words and make them stronger during the night. It's like planting seeds in a garden. When you plant seeds, they don't grow immediately. You cannot see anything for a while. But under the soil, something is happening. The seeds are changing. Roots are growing, and then, one day, a small green leaf appears. Learning English in your sleep works in the same way. You plant the words in your brain, and while you sleep, they start to grow. This doesn't mean you will wake up one morning and speak perfect English without practice. No, learning is still a process. But it does mean that you can use your sleeping hours to help your brain. remember better, speak more confidently, and reduce the time you need to review. Imagine this. You spend 8 hours sleeping every night. That is 1/3 of your life. What if those 8 hours could help you learn instead of just rest? You would be learning even when you are not trying. Let me give you a simple example. A few years ago, one of my students, Sarah, was learning English but had trouble remembering simple phrases. She always forgot them the next. I told her to listen to a short English audio before bed. Sentences like, I am happy, I can speak English, today is a beautiful day. She thought it was strange, but she tried it. Yeah. After 1 week, she noticed something surprising. In the morning, she could remember and even say those sentences without looking at her notebook. She said it felt automatic, like her brain had been practicing without her knowing. That is the power of sleep learning. Our brains are amazing machines, but they also follow certain rules. One important rule is that the more relaxed you are, the better you remember. That's why sleep is such a good time for learning. Your body is relaxed, your mind is calm, and there are no distractions from the outside world. No phone calls, no notifications, no noise from the busy day. Just you, your pillow, and the gentle voice of English words entering your ears. Now, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds interesting, but how do I actually do it? That is exactly what we will explore in the next chapter. We will talk about how to prepare your mind before sleeping, so that your brain is ready to catch the English words and keep them safe. You will see that a little preparation can make a big difference in how much you remember the next day. But before we go there, I want you to imagine this picture tonight when you close your eyes. Imagine your brain as a friendly gardener. You give it some seeds, a few simple English sentences. You leave them there, and the gardener works quietly while you rest. In the morning, those seeds have started to grow. You wake up, and the words feel lighter on your tongue. You speak them without fear, without translation, and without stress. That is not magic. That is science. And it's a science you can start using tonight. Chapter R. Preparing your mind. Before sleep, before we talk about learning while you sleep, we need to understand something important. What you hear before sleeping matters. Your brain is like a sponge in the moments before you fall asleep. It soaks in whatever you give it, good or bad. If you go to bed thinking about problems, your brain will hold on to stress. If you go to bed with calm, clear, and positive English sentences, your brain will hold on to those instead. This is why the minutes before sleep are so powerful. They decide what your brain will process all night. Think of it like cooking. If you put fresh ingredients into the pot, you get a healthy meal. But if you put spoiled food into the pot, the result will not be good. Your brain works the same way. The ingredients you put into it before bed will be cooked slowly all night. If you give it short, simple, clear English sentences, your brain will practice them again and again, even when you don't notice. Now the question is, what kind of English should you listen to? The answer is simple, easy English. Many learners make the mistake of choosing long, fast, difficult audio. They think, if I listen to something advanced, I will learn faster. But in sleep learning, this is the opposite of what you need. Your brain learns best at night when the information is short, slow, and clear. It's like planting small seeds, not heavy stones. Here is an example. Instead of listening to a long news report in English, choose short positive sentences like, I am happy. The sun is shining. I can speak English. I understand easily. These sentences are short. They are positive. They are easy to imagine. And because they are repeated softly, your brain can catch them even while resting. If you hear them again and again at night, they start to feel natural. You don't have to think about them in the morning. They will simply be there, ready to use. The next part of preparation is creating the right atmosphere before bed. If you try to sleep while scrolling your phone, watching stressful videos on TV, or thinking about work, your brain will be full of noise. Noise makes it hard for new words to stay. So, about Sherwood to Arcer's minutes. Before bed, put your phone away. Turn off the TV. Make the lights softer. If possible, make your room a little darker and cooler so your body relaxes. You can even try deep breathing. Close your eyes and breathe in slowly through your nose. Count to 4. Hold for 2 seconds. 44. Then breathe out slowly through your mouth. Repeat this a few times. You will feel your shoulders relax, your heartbeat slow down, and your mind become quiet. This quiet mind is like an empty notebook, ready to receive new words without distraction. Another tip: choose a gentle voice for your English audio. If the voice is too loud or too fast, your brain will reject it during sleep. Think of it like background music, soft enough that it doesn't wake you, but clear enough that you can hear the words. You can use your phone, a small speaker, or even wireless earbuds if they are comfortable. But remember, keep the volume low. If you play it too loud, your brain will treat it like noise and block it out. Some learners ask me, should I listen to the same sentences every night? My answer is yes, at least for a week. Repetition is the secret. If you hear the same to short sentences for 7 nights, those sentences will become part of your memory. Changing your audio every night is like planting seeds in different gardens. You won't see anything grow because you didn't water. One place enough. Let's look at this as a formula. Calm mind, easy sentences. Repetition, strong memory. This formula is not magic. It is simply the way the brain works. When you are calm, your brain is open. When the sentences are easy, your brain accepts them. When you repeat them, your brain stores them deeply. Without preparation, the method will not be as effective. That's why I say preparation is Beifenger of success. The other Beifenger is the listening itself, but we will get to that later. No, I remember another student, Ahmed, who always went to bed with his phone in his hand, watching random videos. He tried night learning, but nothing stayed in his memory. I asked him about his preparation. He laughed and said, I'd just press play and sleep. I told him to change his routine. Relax first, put his phone away, make the room dark, and start listening only after his mind was calm. 2 weeks later, he told me he could say 5 new sentences without thinking. The only change was his preparation. So tonight, when you get ready for bed, think of it as setting the stage for a show. The stage must be quiet. The lights must be soft. The audience, your brain, must be ready. Then when the English words appear, they will have your full attention, even if you are asleep. In the next chapter, we will go deeper into how repetition during sleep makes your memory stronger and faster. But before we get there, remember this. The way you prepare before bed is not just a small step. It is half of your success. Without it, you are planting seeds in a storm. With it, you are planting seeds in soft, rich soil, ready to grow. Chapter 10. The power of repetition during sleep. When it comes to learning English while you sleep, there is one thing more powerful than anything else. Repetition. True. Repetition is like a magic glue for your brain. It takes new words and sentences and sticks them deep inside your memory. Tot. It too cothered. Without repetition, most of what you hear will fade away. But with repetition, your brain says, "This is important. I will keep it." Let me explain it in a simple way. Imagine you hear a new English sentence just one time before bed. I can speak English. You might remember it in the morning, but maybe not. Now imagine you hear the same sentence woozer times during the night, softly and clearly. In the morning, your brain has heard it so many times that it feels familiar, almost natural. You can say it without effort. That is the power of repetition. Think about songs. How many times have you learned a song without trying? Maybe you heard it on the radio, in a shop, or on TV. At first, you didn't know the words, but after hearing it many times, you could sing parts of it. You never sat down with a notebook and wrote the lyrics. You just listened again and again. The repetition trained your brain. Sleep learning works the same way, but in a more focused way. Instead of random songs, you give your brain clear, simple English sentences to repeat. Here's another example. I once had a student named Fatima. She told me she could never remember long sentences. She would learn them during the day, but forget them the next morning. I suggested she try listening to just 5 short sentences. At night, every night for a week. We chose easy ones like, I am learning English. My English is getting better. I speak with confidence. I understand easily. I can use English every day. She repeated them for 7 nights in a row while sleeping. Bast. By the end of the week, she didn't just remember them. She could say them quickly. Run farm. Without translating in her haste, she told me, it feels like the sentences are part of me now. That is what repetition does. Your brain is smart, but it is also lazy. It doesn't keep every bit of information you hear. It keeps only what it thinks is important. How does it know what is important? By how often it hears it. If your brain hears the same sentence again and again, it decides, this must be useful. I will store it in a safe place. That safe place is your long-term memory. The memory that stays with you for months, even years. Some people make the mistake of playing long, difficult lessons at night. This is like throwing hundreds of puzzle pieces at your brain while it is resting. Your brain cannot put them together. Instead, give it a few clear pieces, short sentences, while mental wand, and let it look at them again and again until they are fixed in place. Remember, the goal is not to understand a big lesson in one night. The goal is to make a few important sentences automatic. Automatic means you don't have to think about them. You don't have to translate. You just say them, like breathing. This is why repetition is so powerful. During the day, you might say, I need to think before I speak. But after enough repetition at night, some sentences will simply come out when you need them. It's like your brain has a library of ready-made sentences waiting for you. Let's use another picture to make this clear. Imagine you are carving a path in the forest. The first time you walk through, it's hard. You have to push plants aside. The second time, it's a little easier. After many times, the path is clear and smooth. You can walk without thinking. Repetition is like walking the same path in your brain again and again until it's so clear that you can travel at any time, even without a map. This is why, for sleep learning, I recommend choosing short, positive, and useful sentences. Play them softly all night. You can make your own recording or find one that matches your level. Don't worry if it feels boring to hear the same thing. Boring is good. Boring means your brain can focus without too much work. And in the morning, you will notice that these boring sentences feel easy and natural to say. Here's the secret. You'd need hundreds of sentences at first. You just need a few that you can use every day. Once those are automatic, you can add more. Over time, your English will grow like a wall, brick by brick. Each brick is a sentence you have repeated until it became strong. Without repetition, the wall will fall. It will stand forever. In the next chapter, we will talk about exactly which words and sentences to choose for your sleep learning. This will make sure you are learning things you can actually use the next day. Not just random phrases. But before we move on, remember this. Repetition is not a small part of learning. It is the heart of learning. Every sentence you repeat tonight is an investment in the English you will speak tomorrow. Chapter 4. Choosing the right words and sentences. When it comes to learning English while you sleep, one of the most important things to understand is this. Not all words are equal. Some sentences will help you more than others. Some words will connect to your daily life, while others will just sit in your mind, unused, and slowly disappear. If you want to see fast improvement, you must choose the right words and sentences. Short, useful, and positive. This chapter is about making that choice wisely. Imagine this. You are listening to a voice while you sleep. The voice repeats, I can speak English. I can speak English. I can speak English. In the morning, you wake up, and without even thinking, you hear yourself saying, I can speak English. It feels natural. It feels easy. This is the magic of choosing short, simple sentences. They do not confuse your brain. They give it power. They give you confidence. Let's talk about why simple and useful sentences work better. When you are sleeping, your mind is not ready to process long, complicated grammar structures. You are not sitting in a classroom. You are in a relaxed, dreamlike state. Your brain likes patterns, and it likes things that feel connected to you. A sentence like "I am currently improving my language proficiency." Through consistent exposure to auditory content, might sound smart, but it will never stick in your sleeping mind. However, "I speak English easily" is short, clear, and personal, and that is exactly what your brain loves. Now, think about your daily life. What do you say every day in your own language? You greet people. You tell them how you feel. You ask for things. You share simple facts about yourself. These are the kinds of sentences that should be in your sleep learning routine. Imagine falling asleep to "Hello, how are you? I am fine. Nice to meet you. I feel confident. I understand you." These phrases are not just for your brain. They are for your real life. You can use them immediately when you wake up. There is another reason. These sentences are powerful. They are emotionally positive. Positive words make your brain more open to learning. If you keep hearing "I feel confident" or "I understand easily," your brain begins to believe it. Over time, you will notice a change, not only in your English, but in your attitude. You will speak more without fear. You will try more, even if you make mistakes, because you have trained your mind to feel strong and capable. Here's a small but powerful tip. And always choose sentences that you want to believe about yourself. If you hear them again and again in your sleep, they become part of your inner voice. For example, "I can speak English. English is easy for me. I remember new words. I enjoy speaking. I can understand native speakers." These are short, uplifting, and practical. They will not only improve your language, but also change how you see yourself. Let me give you a little story to make it more real. My friend Sarah wanted to improve her English, but she was shy. She avoided speaking because she was afraid of making mistakes. One day, she started listening to a short audio every night while she slept. Tofak. It had sentences like, "I speak English clearly. People understand me. I am confident in English." She didn't notice much in the first week, but after 2 weeks, she was surprised. When someone spoke to her in English, she answered without thinking. Too much. She felt braver. She told me, "It's like the words are already inside me, ready to come out." That is the power of the right sentences. When choosing what to listen to, remember 3 golden rules. Keep it short, make it useful, and keep it positive. Short sentences are easy for the brain to repeat. Useful sentences are the ones you can say tomorrow in a real conversation. Positive sentences keep your motivation high and remove fear. So tonight, when you prepare your sleep learning audio, think carefully. Don't just fill it with random vocabulary or complicated grammar rules. Fill it with the kind of English you want to live with every day. Fill it with confidence, with positivity, and with the sentences that will make you feel proud when you speak. And remember, the sentences you choose tonight could become the voice too. You hear in your mind for the rest of your life. In the next part, we will explore exactly how to structure these sentences into a simple nightness time routine that works. But for now, start creating your personal list. Make it yours, make it powerful, and make it positive. Ring. Because learning in your sleep is not only about improving your English, it's about building the version of yourself you want to wake up to. Chapter Wove. Combining listening with visualization, there is a powerful trick that can make sleep learning even more effective, and it is called combining listening with visualization. This simply means that you do not just hear the words, you also see them in your mind. When you listen to English sentences before you sleep, you can use your imagination to make those words real. And here is the exciting part. Your brain loves images. In fact, the brain often remembers pictures more easily than words alone. So when you link the sound of a sentence to a clear picture in your mind, you give your memory a double boost. Let's make it simple. Imagine you hear the sentence, "I drink water." If you only listen, your ears will catch the words, and your brain will store them somewhere. But if, at the same time, you imagined yourself holding a cool glass of water, feeling the weight of it in your hand, seeing the clear liquid shine in the light, and taking a sip, suddenly that sentence has life. It is no longer just sound. It is sound plus meaning, feeling, and vision. And this combination makes it much easier for your brain to remember. This works because of how our memory connects things. Scientists have found that when the brain gets information from more than one sense, for example, hearing and seeing, it builds stronger memory pathways. It's like tying two knots instead of one. One knot may come loose, but two knots will hold much better. So when you hear a sentence and also imagine it, you are giving your brain two strong connections to remember it by. Before sleep, this method becomes even more powerful. That's because your brain is in a relaxed state, almost like a sponge, ready to absorb new information. If you lie in bed, close your eyes and listen to English audio, your imagination is free to work. You are not distracted by your phone, by people talking, or by other tasks. You can focus completely on the sound and the picture in your mind, even if your imagination feels a little blurry at first. That's okay. It will get clearer with practice. Here's an example routine you can try tonight. Put on your English sleep learning audio. As each sentence plays, give yourself a few seconds to create a picture in your mind. But if you hear, "I can speak English," imagine yourself in a bright, happy room, talking with friends in English. See their smiles. Hear your own confident voice. If you hear, "I wake up early," Imagine sunlight coming into your room and you stretching happily. These small images, connected to the words, send a strong signal to your brain. This is important. Remember this. Even when you fall asleep, your brain does not completely stop working. It keeps processing sounds, patterns, and ideas. The images you created before sleep stay in your subconscious mind. During the night, your brain will connect those images with the words you heard, you'd, strengthening the memory without you even realizing it. It's like planting a seed before bed and letting it grow while you sleep. You can also make the visualization more emotional, because emotions make memories stronger. If the sentence is "I feel confident," don't just see yourself looking confident. Feel it. Feel your chest lifted, your smile wide, your eyes bright. Let the emotion fill you. The brain remembers things much better when they are linked to strong feelings. For beginners, here is a tip. Start with short, simple sentences you fully understand. If you hear something you don't understand, your brain can't create a clear image. What will be weaker. Sentences like "I eat rice," "I read a book," "I go to school" are perfect starting points. As your English improves, you can use longer sentences and more complex images. The best part of combining listening with visualization is that it turns learning into a relaxing and enjoyable activity. Instead of forcing yourself to repeat words over and over in a tired voice, you are lying comfortably in bed, dreaming while awake, and letting English sink into your mind naturally. Clue. PP. This is not just about language learning, it is also about building a positive mindset, seeing yourself as someone who can speak, understand, and enjoy English. If you make this a habit every night, even for just 10 minutes before sleep, you will start to notice changes. You will remember sentences more easily. You will understand them faster. Great. And you will start to think of English words automatically. When you see things in real life, because your brain has already linked the sound, the meaning, and the picture together. In the end, this method is like teaching your mind to paint while it listens. The more colors, shapes, and emotions you add, the more beautiful and unforgettable the picture becomes. Hope. And the next time you hear those same sentences, you won't just remember the sound. You will remember the whole experience you imagined. As if it really happened. That's the secret power of combining listening with visualization. In Sleep Learning. Chapter 5. How to create your sleep English routine. If you have made it this far, you already know that learning English while you sleep is not magic. It is about creating a calm and consistent habit that helps your brain store language naturally. Many people hear about this idea and feel excited, but then they do not know where to begin. They wonder, what should I listen to? How loud should it be? How many times should I do it? That is why in this chapter, we will make it very simple. We will create a step-by-step routine you can follow every night. By the end, you will not just understand the method, you will be ready to actually use it. The first step is to choose sure to sure wu. Short sentences or phrases. These should be clear, easy, and useful for your daily life. For example, how are you? I am feeling happy today. Where is the bathroom? I drink water. Please help me. Each sentence should be something you can imagine yourself using in a real conversation. Now, the goal is to pick sentences that are short enough for your brain to remember, yet important enough to help you in real situations. If you are just starting, avoid long or complex grammar. Think small, but think useful. These sentences will become the seeds of your English memory, growing stronger each night. The second step is to record them in a calm, slow voice or use a trusted recording. Comfortable speaking, you can record yourself reading the sentences slowly and clearly. Ich lar. Speak with kindness in your tone, as if you are talking to a friend. If you feel shy about your own voice or worry about pronunciation, you can use recordings from a teacher, a language app, or a trusted YouTube channel that speaks slowly. For learners, the key is clarity. Your brain needs to hear the sound correctly so it can store it the right way. The third step is to play them softly while you sleep. This part is very important. You do not want the sound to be so loud that it wakes you up. Your mind should feel relaxed, almost like the sentences are part of a gentle dream. You can use a phone, a small speaker, or headphones made for sleeping. The volume should be low enough to let you rest, but clear enough for your ears to catch the sound. Imagine it like a soft background voice, quietly telling you the words again and again. The fourth step is to repeat this every night for at least 2 days. Your brain needs time to connect the sounds with meaning. One night will not change everything, but 7 nights in a row will start to make a real difference. Think of it like watering a plant. If you only water it once, it will not grow. But if you water it every day, you will see new life appear. With each night, your brain will get more familiar with the sentences, and they will start to feel natural when you speak during the day. To make this method feel more real, let's talk about a mini success story. A student named Azan once tried this exact routine. He was nervous about speaking English, especially introducing himself to new people. His sentences included, "Hello, my name is Asan. I am from Pakistan. I am learning English, and it is nice to meet you." He recorded them in a soft, friendly voice and played them every night while he slept. At first, he did not notice much change. But after 2 weeks, something happened. One morning, at a family gathering, someone asked him to introduce himself in English. Without thinking, the words came out smoothly, like he had been saying them all his life. His family was surprised, and he was shocked too. That moment gave him so much confidence that he started adding more sentences to his night routine. The beauty of this method is that it is not just about learning words. Building confidence without pressure. When you are awake, you sometimes feel stressed about mistakes. But when you are asleep, your brain listens without fear. The words enter quietly, and your mind accepts them like a natural part of you. Then, when you wake up, those words are ready, waiting for you to use them. So tonight, start small. Choose your sentences, Record them or find a good recording, play them softly, and let your mind rest. Do it again tomorrow and the next day until it becomes a habit. Remember, the magic is not in one night. The magic is in the repetition. If you give your brain these gentle moments every night, it will reward you with smoother, more natural English when you are awake. And just like a song, you might surprise yourself with how easily the words flow. Chapter Chi. Avoiding common mistakes. When it comes to learning English while you sleep, many learners start with excitement but make small mistakes that slow their progress. The good news is, these mistakes are easy to fix once you know them. Let's talk about the most common problems and how to avoid them so your night learning can actually bring results. The first mistake many people make is playing the audio too loud. I know, it feels like if you turn the volume higher, your brain will hear the sentences better. But remember, this is not a party. This is your rest time. If the sound is too loud, your body will feel disturbed. And you want sleep deeply. Sleep is the key ingredient here. When your brain needs to be relaxed to store new information. Imagine you're trying to write on soft sand. If the waves keep crashing loudly, the writing will disappear. But if the water is calm, the words will stay. The same happens in your brain. Keep the audio soft, almost like a whisper. You should be able to fall asleep with it playing without feeling annoyed. The second mistake is choosing material that's too difficult. Some learners think, if I listen to hard English, I'll learn faster. Woo. But if the sentences are too advanced, your brain doesn't know what to do with them while you're sleeping. Remember, night learning works best when your brain already understands the basics of what you're hearing. If you play sentences full of new words and strange grammar, your brain will treat them as noise, not learning material. Start simple. If you can understand the sentence when you're awake, it's perfect for your sleep practice. Later, you can slowly make it more challenging. Another common problem. Common problem is switching topics every night. On Monday, you play sentences about greetings. On Tuesday, you switch to cooking vocabulary. On Wednesday, you move to travel phrases. Genk. The result? Your brain gets confused. It never gets the chance to repeat and store the same information. It's like planting a seed and digging it up every day to plant a new one. Nothing grows. Instead, stick with one topic for at least a week. Let your brain water that seed every night until it starts to sprout naturally. One of the biggest traps is expecting results in one night. I completely understand the feeling. You try this method, you go to bed, you wake up, and you're secretly hoping you'll be speaking like a native by breakfast. But learning doesn't work that way, especially not language learning. Sleep learning is powerful, but it's slow power. It's like watering a plant. You don't see it grow instantly, but something is happening inside. The roots are forming. The leaves are preparing to come out. You just have to keep going. More important than speed, Think about it. If you go to the gym once for 5 hours, you won't see much change. But if you go every day for 20 minutes, your body will transform. The same rule applies here. Harl. Even if you play just 10 minutes of sentences while you sleep, doing it every single night will give you your brain more chances to store the language. Lao. So how can you keep your sleep learning consistent and mistake-free? First, choose your sentences carefully. Keep them short, simple, and clear. Second, set your audio at a comfortable, quiet level. Third, repeat the same material for at least 7 nights before changing it. Fourth, be patient. Your results will grow quietly in the background. Your results will grow wetly in the feck. But one morning, maybe after a week or two, you'll notice you can answer a question faster, or you'll find yourself remembering a sentence without thinking about it. That's your brain saying, I've been listening. I've been working. And now, I'm ready to show you. Remember, my friend, learning English while you sleep is not magic. It's science mixed with habit. If you avoid these mistakes and give your brain the time it needs, you'll wake up one day and realize that what once felt impossible is now natural. Keep the process gentle, steady, and focused. And most importantly, trust that your effort, even while you sleep, is bringing you closer to the English speaker you want to become. Chapter Ba. Waking up with English confidence. When you wake up in the morning, your mind is in a very special state. You are not fully in the rush of the day yet, and your thoughts are still calm, almost like a quiet lake before the wind starts to blow. This is the perfect time to take what you learned during sleep and make it stronger. Odd. Many people listen to English at night, but they don't realize that the first 5 minutes after waking up are just as important as the night itself. These minutes are like fresh, wet cement. Anything you press into it will leave a lasting mark. If you use this time well, your English will not just stay in your memory, it will become part of your speaking habit. Here's how you can do it. The moment you open your eyes, before checking your phone or jumping out of bed, repeat the sentences you heard during the night. You don't have to repeat them perfectly at first. Just say them out loud, slowly, and with a smile. Your brain will recognize the sounds because it has been hearing them while you slept. Slept. This repetition acts like a bridge between your sleeping mind and your waking mind. It tells your brain, this is important, keep it. If you skip this step, it's like planting seeds in the soil but forgetting to water them in the morning. Another powerful thing you can do is write the sentences down in a notebook. Writing makes your brain process the words in a deeper way. When you write, you are not only seeing the word, but also feeling it through your hand movements. This activates more parts of your brain and makes the memory stronger. Even if your handwriting is not perfect or neat, it doesn't matter. The goal is not beauty, the goal is memory. A simple page of sentences every morning can, over time, become your personal English diary, full of the phrases that will help you speak more naturally. If you have a little more time in the morning, You can also use the sentences in small conversations, even if you are just talking to yourself. For example, if you learned the sentence, "I would like a cup of tea during the night," you can say it while making your tea in the morning. If you learned "How was your day?" you can say it to a family member. Or even imagine saying it to a friend. Using the sentences in a real or imagined situation gives them life. They stop being just words and become tools you can actually use. Some people worry that they won't remember much after sleep learning, especially in the beginning. This is normal. In fact, at first you may only remember 1 or 2 words clearly. Don't be discouraged. Those 1 or 2 words are like the first drops of water before the rain starts. If you keep practicing every morning, those drops will turn into a steady stream, and one day, you will notice that you can recall full sentences without effort. Think of it like this. Every night, while you sleep, your brain is quietly sorting and storing the English you hear. But in the morning, you have the power to wake up that knowledge and make it active. Without the morning activation, the knowledge stays asleep inside you. With it, you bring the knowledge into your day, where it can grow and become part of your daily life. Karen's. The most beautiful part of this process is that it's gentle. You don't need to push yourself hard or spend hours studying. As soon as you wake up, 5 focused minutes can be enough. Imagine, while the rest of the world is still half asleep, you are already building your English confidence. You are already taking a step forward before the day even begins. And remember, confidence is not something that arrives all at once like a gift. It grows slowly, like a plant. You water it every day with small actions, listening at night, repeating in the morning, using in conversations. Each day adds a little more strength, a little more trust in yourself. One day, without even realizing it, you will find yourself speaking in English naturally, without fear, and you will remember these quiet mornings that built your confidence. So make a promise to yourself. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, give your English 5 minutes. Repeat the sentences. Write them down. Use them in small ways. Do it every day and watch your confidence grow. Every night, while you rest, your English can grow quietly, and every morning, you can speak with more confidence than the day before.